Is the United States panicking over China's rise? This question isn't just a passing thought, it's a concern that's growing louder every day. It's a question echoing through the halls of Washington, reverberating in the media, and sparking debate in boardrooms across the nation. For decades, America stood as the world's undisputed superpower, shaping global events and setting the pace for innovation and influence. Now, China's rapid economic growth and bold global ambitions are dramatically reshaping the international order, challenging the status quo. This shift has sparked unease in the U.S. Many wonder, is the American century coming to an end? Or is it simply evolving into something new? But let's look beyond the headlines and the daily noise. We'll explore the rivalry across four critical battlegrounds: economics, technology, global influence, and military power. And we'll tackle the big question: should America really be worried, or is there more to the story? This isn't a simple good versus evil story, nor is it a zero-sum game. It's about two powerful nations, each with unique histories, political systems, and competing visions for the future of the world. Their competition is both cooperative and confrontational, creating friction, driving innovation, and forcing adaptation worldwide. The stakes are incredibly high, not just for Americans and Chinese, but for people everywhere, as the outcome will shape the global landscape. Is the U.S. truly losing its edge, or is it simply adapting to a rapidly changing new reality? Is China's rise unstoppable, or does it face its own set of daunting challenges and obstacles? By breaking down these key areas, we'll get a clearer, more nuanced picture of what's really happening beneath the surface. This is about more than just power politics. It's about the future of global trade, technology, and the rules that will shape our world for generations to come. At the heart of the US-China rivalry lies a fierce and complex economic competition, one that is shaping the future of the world. The United States has long stood as the world's economic engine, with the dollar serving as the global standard and its corporations leading the way in innovation, technology, and finance. But over the past 40 years, China has engineered a dramatic economic transformation, lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty, becoming the world's factory, and rapidly emerging as a global tech hub. Today, China stands as the largest trading nation and the second largest economy by nominal GDP, with its influence reaching every corner of the globe. Its meteoric rise is built on state-led capitalism, massive infrastructure investments, and a vast industrious workforce that powers its growth. For the United States, this is a direct challenge to its long-held economic dominance. But America's economy remains resilient, innovative, and still the largest by nominal GDP. The dollar's dominance in global finance and America's culture of relentless innovation are still unmatched by any other nation. American universities and companies like Apple and Google continue to set the pace for global leadership in technology, research, and entrepreneurship. The contest between these two giants isn't just about economic size, it's about which model of growth, governance, and innovation will shape the 21st century. On one side stands the established, consumer-driven U.S. economy, powered by individual choice and private enterprise. On the other, China's state-directed investment-heavy model, where government planning and massive projects drive progress. This economic rivalry underpins all other aspects of their competition, from technology to geopolitics and beyond. The outcome of this contest will shape global prosperity, stability, and the balance of power for decades to come, affecting every nation on Earth. The numbers tell the story. Behind every headline and policy debate, it's the data that reveals the true scale of the global economic rivalry. In 2025, US nominal GDP is about $28 trillion, while China's stands at $20 trillion, a gap, but one that's narrowing year by year. But by purchasing power parity, which adjusts for cost of living, China has already surpassed the US, making it the world's largest economy in real terms and changing the global balance. China's growth, once in the double digits, has slowed to 4 to 5%, yet it still outpaces America's 2 to 3%, fueling competition and ambition on both sides. This fuels predictions that China's nominal GDP will eventually overtake America's, a source of anxiety and debate in Washington and beyond. The real question is whether China can sustain this growth amid mounting challenges, both internal and external. The trade war, launched in the late 2010s, saw the US and China impose tariffs on each other's goods, disrupting global supply chains, raising costs, and forcing companies to rethink their strategies. The results? Mixed. Both economies face headwinds, with some industries adapting while others struggle to recover. The US struggles with rising debt, deepening political polarization, and persistent inequality, all of which complicate its economic outlook. China faces a real estate crisis, an aging population, and high youth unemployment, challenges that threaten its long-term momentum. Its state-driven model is being tested as it tries to shift toward domestic consumption and innovation, seeking new engines for growth. The rivalry isn't a simple race. It's a marathon, with both sides facing unique obstacles, unexpected turns, and moments of uncertainty. Economic power is shifting, but neither side has a clear path to dominance. The outcome remains uncertain, shaped by policy choices and global events. The world is watching to see who adapts best, as the next chapter in this economic contest is written in real time. If the economy is the engine, technology is the fuel. The US-China rivalry is fiercest in tech, AI, 5G, quantum computing, and biotech. The nation that leads here will dominate the global economy and wield strategic power. China's Made in China 2025 plan aims for tech supremacy, pouring billions into R&D and nurturing giants like Huawei and Baidu. The US, long the tech leader, is now on the defensive, tightening export controls, restricting Chinese firms, and boosting domestic chip manufacturing. America still leads in fundamental research, software, and advanced semiconductors, thanks to its universities and risk-taking culture. China's strength is scale, deploying tech rapidly and leveraging vast data for AI. The result? A tech decoupling with two separate spheres emerging, one American-led, one Chinese-led. This split will shape the future of innovation and global standards. The stakes are enormous and the race is far from over. The world's next superpower may be decided in the lab, not on the battlefield. The tech race comes alive in 5G and AI. China's Huawei led the global 5G rollout, raising US fears about security and espionage. The US responded by urging allies to ban Huawei, drawing a line in the sand and forcing countries to choose sides. This battle showed China's ability to compete at the highest tech levels. In AI, China aims to lead by 2030, using its massive population to generate data and support state-backed companies. The US still leads in cutting-edge AI research, with giants like Google and Microsoft driving innovation. America's decentralized private sector approach fosters creativity, but faces ethical debates over privacy and bias. China's centralized model enables rapid deployment, especially in surveillance. The race for AI supremacy is wide open, and the winner will shape the future. The digital battleground is redefining global power. Whoever masters these technologies will hold a decisive advantage for generations. Beyond economics and tech, the US and China are battling for global influence. For decades, America shaped the world order with its culture, values, and alliances. China now challenges this with the Belt and Road Initiative, building infrastructure across Asia, Africa, and beyond, winning goodwill and economic leverage. Critics call it debt-trap diplomacy, but for many nations, it's a lifeline. The US and allies are countering with new partnerships like the Quad to balance China's reach. America leverages its deep alliances and promotion of democratic values. The global chessboard is being reset, with two major players making bold moves. The outcome will define the rules of the game for years to come. The contest for influence is clearest in alliances and partnerships. The US relies on a vast network, NATO, Asian treaties, and the Quad, built on shared values and a rules-based order. China prefers economic ties, using the Belt and Road and groups like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization to build regional blocs. The Quad is a direct response to China's assertiveness, uniting 4 Indo-Pacific democracies on security, tech, and more. The US works through coalitions. China deals one-on-one, leveraging its economic weight. This contrast defines modern diplomacy's shared values versus transactional deals. Many countries try to benefit from both sides, avoiding a forced choice. The real competition is over the principles that will govern the 21st century. So, is the US really panicking? Not quite. There's anxiety and urgency, but it's more a wake-up call than a meltdown. America's strengths remain: a dynamic economy, top universities, the dollar's dominance, and a powerful alliance network. China faces its own problems: aging population, debt, environmental issues, and an authoritarian system that could stifle innovation. Some say the US was slow to respond to China's rise, letting it gain ground in tech and trade. Others argue the panic is overblown. China's path to global leadership is far from certain. The truth is in the middle. America isn't collapsing, but it must adapt. The era of unchallenged U.S. primacy is over, replaced by a new long-term competition. Washington's mood is one of sober reassessment and strategic reinvestment. The next decades will be defined by this rivalry and how both nations respond. The U.S.-China relationship is the defining geopolitical story of our time. It's not about panic or unstoppable rise. It's a complex, dynamic competition between two deeply intertwined superpowers. China's ascent has changed the global balance, but its future is uncertain, challenged by demographics and the limits of its model. The U.S. remains resilient, with enduring strengths in innovation, finance, and alliances. The rivalry is forcing both nations to adapt and invest in their futures. This isn't a new Cold War. Their economies are too integrated for total separation. The challenge is to manage competition responsibly, avoiding open conflict. The world is entering a prolonged era of intense competition that will shape global norms and technology. The story of the 21st century is still being written. Its central chapter is the complex dance between these two giants.